Everyone has their own story about how they stumbled into speedrunning. Today, we're going to focus on a very special runner's journey. A journey that led them to becoming the greatest Friday the 13th runner ever. And like all good journeys, it wasn't alone. Six years ago, a streamer who goes by PGHGuitarGuy was trying to find something to keep them entertained. As many of us do, they headed to Twitch and typed in the words Ninja Gaiden. When they hit enter, a well-known speedrunning cowboy popped up.
Ouch. Tyson won that round.
While watching Arcus destroy Ninja Gaiden in ways that were previously only playground rumors, inspiration struck. PGH thought to himself, I need to do this. They started researching on how to stream retro consoles and worked on perfecting a speedrun. Before we get into all that, we need to start from the actual beginning. Growing up, PGH had always loved the Friday the 13th series, and their mom was amazing and supportive of their passions. So one year Christmas time rolled around, and what was under that tree? Their very own copy of Friday the 13th for the NES. In this game you play as 6 different camp counselors, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. Chrissy is the strongest female character, with fast running speed, fast weapon throwing speed, and a high jump, but her throwing speed is slow. Debbie is the weakest female character, with fast weapon throwing and average rowing speed, but slow running speed and low jump heights. George is the weakest male character, possessing slow running speed, low jump and average throwing speed, but with a fast rowing speed. Laura has fast movement speed, fast weapon throwing speed, but with a low jump and average rowing speed. Mark is the strongest male character with a fast running speed, a high jump, and fast rowing speed, but with a slow weapon throwing speed. Paul has a slow running speed and a low jump, but with fast rowing speed and fast weapon throwing speed. They all start with a simple attack where you can throw a rock. You can switch between the counselors anytime you enter a cabin. The goal of the game is to find Jason Voorhees and beat them 3 times. This is no easy task for many reasons, but a big one is the game doesn't explain anything. But as a Friday the 13th fan, PGH fell in love with the game and it's always been one of their favorites. So once they found Arcus and were introduced into the world of speedrunning, the game of choice was a no-brainer. So began their journey in Friday the 13th NE%. I'm not going to explain the entire run, but lucky for us, PGH made a tutorial.
The optimal setup to achieve world record time, the optimal setup to get all that is to have Mark in the cabin that was blinking before, have Paul in the cabin with Jason, and have Chrissy in the cabin on the right of the screen.
At the time, PGH was living with his sister. They've always been super close, and PGH inspired her to start streaming as well. Under the name Squishbeans, she played modern games and did diamond painting. Diamond painting uses sparkly resin to create mosaic images. I had no idea this was a thing, but they're really cool. She would also watch PGH while he played games, and when she found out that he started learning to speedrun Friday the 13th, she told him, "You're gonna get the record in that game. I know it." After 3 months of grinding, it happened.
We did it. We got it.
During an offline grind session, PGH managed to get the world record with a 2 minute and 58 second time. This beat the previous world record by 8 seconds. Of course, immediately, he had to let his sister know. Continuing the grind, they lowered their time all the way down to a 2:53 and then a 2:52. That's where the record stayed until it was beaten by a runner named the Mighty Meatbag, who also got a slightly faster 2:52. Once his record was beaten, his sister would always tease him and ask him, "When are you gonna get that 2:51? It was a silly ongoing joke to poke PGH to get back to it. Then, in mid-December, Squishbeans had an accident. She had fallen and fractured her leg. They had placed a cast on her, which she wore for about a month. When they removed the cast, the staff moved the leg around. What they didn't know was this caused part of a blood clot that had formed to break free. And the very next day, January 5th, 2023, she passed due to a pulmonary embolism from the blood clot. She was only 34 years old. PGH lost his sister and one of their best friends that day. Dealing with everything, he took a break from streaming. When they returned, the plan was to start Wizards and Warriors. But when they sat down to actually do it, they knew what had to be done. It was time to get that 251 his sister was always teasing him about. This time it was different, because it wasn't for him anymore. This was to honor Squishbeans. After only 4 streams, they made history. February 18th, 2023, they pulled out a time of 2 minutes, 51 seconds, and 733 milliseconds, taking the world record back and dedicating it to his late sister.
We did it, guys. We did it. 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 Okay. I don't know if that's a 251, but just in case it's a 251, this is dedicated to the memory of my sister Squishbeans, who passed away on January 5th. She used to love she used to love watching me play this game. She used to love cheering me on. I miss you, and I love you. This is for you. This is for you.
This was more than a world record. This is a forever memory that will echo through time as the love they have for each other.